Thanks for staying with us. Now, as the ladies of your view, we certainly cannot overlook this story that practically broke the internet about Bill and Melinda Gates, who announced their divorce after 27 years of marriage. And they also have 3 children, I believe. According to them, they said they could no longer grow together as a couple. And after a great deal of thoughts, a lot of work on their relationship, they decided to end their marriage. Now, the issue we're talking about is not so much Bill and Melinda, because the truth is that that's none of our business. But the conversation is what happened afterwards on social media, where if we have people like this who are this successful, who have reached the peak of the career and still feel the need to abandon this sacred institution of marriage. I would say sacred. You know, but is there any reasoning with the, aren't there ways we can still mend this kind of situation? I know these are different thoughts coming around. People are saying, well, if they can do it, then we else can do it. Or this is like a new empowerment drive for women who say, you know what, I don't have to take this, I'm moving on. You know, so seeing when we have our coach in the house, our life coach is always going to have you on the show. I know that, yes, this matter, you hear me scatter it. You know, but did you guys make sense of it? Could you make sense of, because I understand if you don't want to stay in the marriage. Yeah, but after 27 years, you expect that people can be able to fix their problems or manage or live with the problem.
Mariah, that for me is societal expectations and stereotypes, which means that if you've gone through a number of years, you've done like 23, 24, 25, 27 years, it's expected that you can finish, you know, can get to the finish line. And when you now decide to, okay, we are not getting to the finish line anymore, people now look at you like you have failed in that institution. It's because it's the stereotype that goes around that assumes that once you are married, your life depends on that marriage. And I think we need to start having conversations where we begin to change all of these stereotypes to let people know that marriage does not make you. Marriage is, when marriage doesn't go the way you want, it doesn't mean you have failed. Marriage, we understand, is an institute, a sacred one, like you have said, and it's also a partnership. And we get into businesses with partners. Along the way, we realize that, okay, we have met our objectives, and we need to go our separate ways so that we can move on to the next level. But that assumption that once the marriage doesn't work out, you have failed. Right. Nothing is good is going to come out of it. You're going to discourage a lot of people. I think we should start changing that, because you are more than the marriage. You are who you are. Your destiny is what God has destined you to be, whether the marriage stays or not. Because the truth is, in your destiny, it may be that at some point, the marriage is meant to go away so that you can move on to the next level. But when we have that assumption that, she has failed or he has failed, we put people under depression, we put a lot of pressure on people, and we see that it now starts making a lot of people stay in a marriage, not fulfilling their purpose because they need to meet societal expectations.
Right, let me take Mariam's first initial thoughts before I come to you.
Okay, so initial thoughts.
Yes.
I was like, if it fails from the richest people in the world, educated people, you know, everything is just nice and fresh. If you can fail for these people, then who else would it work for? Those were my initial thoughts. But I also understand that I get the fact that, yes, people are saying, you know, there's just a life also outside marriage. But there's something I picked from what they said, which is we now realize that we can no longer grow together. And you know, that's something about marriage that for me has always been at the back of my mind, that I know that we're constantly growing, we're constantly evolving. And that in marriage, that we hope that in our growth and in our evolution that we're on the same page. Because imagine what would happen when you are now growing farther than the other, and maybe the other is not patient enough for you to catch up, or the other one is just too slow to even get involved. So those are the realities. But I used to think that with marriage, that when those differences would occur, when they happened, was that in that time where one is strong And when one is weak, the other one is strong for the both of us. When one is forging ahead so fast, the other one is just right there to support. And we do it for each and every one of us. But it seems like now there's this situation where is, you know, I'm in front, you can't catch up. Yeah. Tick, tick, I need to go, you know, and this is not working. So sometimes that's what I see now. I understand that there are valid reasons why people will go their separate ways. But if it's a reason like we can't grow together, can we make us grow together? Can we, in what ways can I come in? In what ways can we, you know, work this out, especially after 27 years? Yeah. So the question for someone like me who hasn't even gotten to, you know, that sort of milestone is like, okay, here I am thinking, these are the issues for the first 5 years, or these are the issues for the first 10 years. And if I'm able to sort this out, then we'll just be cruising, you know, in the final years. Yeah. So, my initial thoughts.
Life happens. That was my thought. I was shocked and I was unhappy because these are a couple that have been in the forefront of helping to solve polio, financing malaria issues, and they've done it together across the world. So we've seen a power couple that they're philanthropic, and we're seeing the evidence of the impact of what they're doing across the world. So it was shocking that after you're doing so much good, you will still have such issues. But like I said, we're human, life happens. And many people have now decided to use this one to start drawing conclusion. If mine cannot work for them, I cannot work. It's just them. It's not your story. It's them. It's their reality. It's not your own reality. But another thing that touched me was the fact that have we gotten to that point where, like, we used to be able to stay. Like, we used to have, like, this doggedness. We used to stay and we have to make it work. And we're getting to the point where I've heard of 40-something-year-old marriage that they said they're not doing again. What would make you stay 27 years and now realize something that you cannot stake anymore?
You know, when I saw this stuff, you know, to me, you see, I feel like a lot of people have been very hypocritical. You're in a marriage, yes, you're happy, he's a good friend, you're raising kids together, and you're happy. Now, maybe divorce is horrible when your children are growing because you have a lasting effect. But once your children are grown, they are adults, they're doing what they want to do, maybe it's then time you have reality check. Can I step aside? Can I say, you know what, it's about me now. My growth, my joy, my happiness, I want to do stuff. And the guy or the man or the wife is saying, no, let's stay home and just continue to be mommy and dad. And you're like, it's time to go. So I guess there are different stages in life, and I think that's the reality we have to face. We are in the marriage where our kids are still growing. So we're here, we're in there. Want to stay. But we might get to a phase where, okay, they're now 27, 30 years old, and maybe your husband is still doing, we're still going to stay in the village. We're not going to the main, we're not going to the city. We're not moving out, but let's continue. And you're like, no, I want to travel. I traveled to the US with my children. I want something more than just staying in the village. And the husband, no, I'm staying here. I'm like, you know what, it's done. I'm time to go. I'm not saying it's the right thing. I'm saying maybe that's what the reality is.
That's what I'm saying. That you don't have staying power to negotiate to make it work. Before, we used to find a way to get a middle ground. Let's negotiate. Let's compromise for one another to make it work. But now people feel like, I'm not, like, if it's not going to work, I don't want you to be unhappy. So I want to be happy. I don't want you to be unhappy. You can move on and be happy. Me, I will stay where I want to be. But we're supposed to find a middle ground where we can have a win-win situation.
Me, I don't think...
You know what? To what end, though?
Let's
stay on that for a minute. Okay? So both of us will negotiate, like our parents have been doing. But to what end? Me to continue to manage or what?
Honey, I don't even think there was any form of negotiation at that time. What I thought was, because society made it impossible for the woman to leave, and everything is blamed on the woman. So you're not able to keep your home. You're not able to do this one. You're not. They stay there and they endure it all. Now, if you listen to them a few years back in their old age, when they narrate what they went through, honey, you will not advise anybody close to you to go through that. So it wasn't about compromise or negotiation. The men at the time did not even give the women the opportunity to negotiate. This is your job. Fix your home.
Let me come to Arika and I'll come to you. Arika, are you there? From Abuja. You're live. Go ahead, please. Hello, Arika.
Volume.
I can't hear her. It's pretty low. Hello, Arika, are you there?
Yes. Good morning.
Good morning. Now I can hear you. Go ahead, please.
Good morning.
You're live. Go ahead.
How are you? I can't hear you, Maude. I can't hear you.
Just speak.
We can hear you.
I can't hear you.
She can't hear us, so we can hear her. Yeah, so I was just saying, there's statistics that shows that empty nesters usually go through this situation. So empty nesters are parents who their children are grown and have left the house, and then they eventually find themselves with just each other. So you were distracted by taking care of the children, take them to school back and everything, you know, working towards nurturing and building your children. So they are now adults, they've moved out, even maybe to university. And you realize that you had not had the time to work on yourselves. And what many people are saying is that right now, what would have happened before it would be, okay, this is how people will go on a second honeymoon, let's try and work things out. But now it's almost like we do not have the patience to do that. You know, time is ticking. I'm unhappy right now, and I do not see the way forward. Now, I do not want to just assume that this couple, Bill and Melinda Gates, in my mind, I keep calling them Belindas together, you know, that they did not have a time, maybe they give themselves, because they look like people that would discuss and analyze and overanalyze stuff, that they did not sit down and give themselves like a period, like, okay, let's give ourselves like a year and see if this works out. Let's try and do the things that we both enjoy with each other. And if they did do that, then I guess it's only fair that they want to move on to what they think will make them happy. But if they didn't do that, then it will be really sad that if they're able to put so much energy into all the other things that they have done and achieved, and they're unable to do that for the marriage, that would be sad.
Let me take this call. Good morning, are you there? I have Oladipo. I think our phone lines. Well, so as I said, I'd like us to really bring this to today, the people that are watching, because we've seen them, Bill and Melinda. You pack them for a second, because there are people right now, mothers, like they are in that 30-year, 35-year marriage, frustrated. Some of them are still being beaten up by their spouses for one reason or another. I mean, at that age, there are issues where they are just managing. They struggle to manage this relationship. Now, do we say at a phase in your life, you should be able to take responsibility for your own emotions and say, you know what, I can't grow again with this person. It's time to go. Or should we continue to encourage them to endure, even to death do them part?
Right, I don't like the word endure. I don't think anybody should license the rest of their life to a journey of enduring. I don't think that we should, and many people have been in that case. And I think we sadly think only women are enduring.
Even the men.
Men are enduring. Yes. Men live with narcissistic, evil women that are always insulting and cursing every second. Men live with dirty women all their life, and they endure it because they have kids with this woman. So there are things men are enduring as well, and looking like, man, a woman will just tie up after everything. I'm like, just put yourself together and look good for me, please. You know? And so there are times when men are also enduring, and if they decide to go out and say, let me also go, I'm done, I want to enjoy myself. There are women that say they don't want to fly. You know, and like the man wants to go on a boat cruise, and the woman is saying, I cannot stand water. You know, so there are things that many couples put on hold for their life to succeed. I watched an interview by Melinda Gates saying that when they go for meetings and they go to meet high network individuals, that they're in awe of Bill. And she sits there in the meeting, and she watches how they gush all over Bill. And she's like, okay. They listen to him, and then at a while, he would point attention towards her. And then they hear her talk, and they say, oh, you're actually intelligent. And she's wondering, I'm sure that must have happened several times. It can be dehumanizing for a woman to always be like a second fiddle in the shadow of a big man.
Moving, let's talk to this person. James will hold it for a while. James, are you there?
Yep.
James, you're live. Go ahead, please.
I have one question, though.
You have a question?
Do you want to be... Yes, I have a question. The question is, well, marriage, it's not compulsory to be the marriage. So the question is, marriage itself is an institution, and I'd love to ask people, do you want to be in an institution? That's my question.
I didn't get the question.
Okay, marriage is an institution. You know, like institutions are like hospitals and all. Like, do you want to live in an institution? So
there are different parts of that. I mean, there are kids involved. There are business within that marriage. There's issues of taking care of the health of the kids, family. So when you say institution, what do you mean? That there's a lot that has to do with that group, with man, woman, and kids. That's what we mean by that.
Let me add to talk by saying that, you know, when it comes to marriage and the way the world is evolving, it's very important that you constantly have conversations to know where both of you are.
Exactly.
So as you move step by step, some people have these conversations in 5 years, the next 5 years. What what are your expectations of me? What are my expectations of you? Have we moved away?
Ourselves?
Yes. Have we moved away from how we wanted it to be? Have you changed? Have I changed? How long? I have this conversation. In fact, it's my husband that initiates this sort of conversations, and I find it very uncomfortable. But at the end of the day, I realize that it's helping us to understand, okay, you are moving too fast. I'm struggling to catch up. Hey, what can we do to bridge this gap so that we move together? So I always appreciate him, but initially I don't like to have those conversations. But if we understand that, we now understand that it takes strength to be able to take yourself away from a toxic environment, a toxic marriage. Let us not always be in a hurry to judge and expect that it must be this way, and that way, and if it doesn't work this way, you have failed. Let us understand that it takes strength for someone to say, this is no longer working for me, I want to go out. And let us encourage people who are in that space. We would advise that everybody should find a way to make it work, because the truth is, we need a healthy society. We need a wholesome society, and society comes from the family. But if you're in that situation, at what cost? In that situation where it's no longer working, your dreams and your goals and your aspirations are suppressed. Let me give you an example. There's this long-time prophet of God, Catherine Kluma, who God instructed, do not marry. That was her assignment on earth, was not to be married. You are here to, you know, and she tried, and she had 5 failed marriages. Whoa. Now, looking from the outside, you wonder, how come a woman of God like this cannot even keep a home? It was her destiny. And so we need to understand that sometimes it's not meant to be that long for you to get to your purpose. So just give people...
Let me take this call from Trudy. Trudy, are you there?
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
First-time caller, I'm calling.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, I want to throw more light about what you guys are deliberating about. We should understand that Bill Gates and Melinda, they are pure philanthropists. You understand? And they have a goal that they want to set and they want to reach. So there's no news about what caused their separation or divorce. So their main purpose is to grow the foundation. They separated and still want to grow their foundation. So we should not be deceived, you understand, about the divorce of these figures. You understand? You guys in the media should have a role to play in sensitizing the populace about what marriage is all about and the purpose of being together.
The line wasn't clear, but we were saying that they have a mission and like they have the foundation.
As I said, we're not dissecting Bill and Melinda Gates. There could be very different conspiracy theories for their marriage. We're not interested in why.
The concept.
We're removing the fact that a couple that have impacted many lives, after 27 years, have decided to go their separate ways. And we're trying to get the lessons from that experience. Their conspiracy theories is none of our business. So going back to the issue, that when a family says, okay, my kids are grown and I want to do something else, why do we find it difficult to compromise or to find a middle ground and still stay in that home? Is it the times that we're in that empowers people to say, you know what, I can go to Germany, I can go to Japan and find a new babe. I'm 80, I'm still strong, I can take a second wife. You know, it's time for me to explore. Let me just do things. You know?
Geez, I found this.
I mean, so young men who have been with their marriages, with their families, hit that 70 mark and say, you know what, I'm still strong, I'm fit, I look good, I'm going to Japan, I have a girlfriend, I'm going to this, I'm going to that. And the woman has become a mommy in the house, and she's there with the grandma doing omugo all over the place. The point I'm trying to make is that we see our parents manage that period. Maybe they're not very close to mommy and daddy. Daddy does something, mommy is doing something. Are we not, how do we manage it now? Because times have changed.
You know what, someone said to me when this first came out, said, why don't we look at it differently? Why don't we say 27 years, 3 well-brought-up children, successful, you had a good run. So if you look at it that way, then you do not see it as a failure.
Exactly.
And then also, I also would like for us, I find that it's easier actually to be able to say, I need to step out of a marriage that is toxic, that you can immediately say is physically, emotionally toxic. But when you're talking of something almost as ambiguous as what they have said, like we can't grow together, meaning we have other dreams and things that we want to do, and it's not just aligning. So it's not like when they call you for family meeting, imagine a Nigerian family, they call Hannah, Melinda, is he beating you? No. Is he kicking? No. Is he paying the fees? Everything he's doing. So what is it? Just we're not connecting. We're not connecting
They
anymore.
cannot understand it.
Yes.
Africa, we cannot understand that kind of
But
story.
in Nigeria, I think, and African families, we have those sort of situations. But the way that we have handled it, I think what has happened is we have men who step out on their wives.
Yeah.
So the wives, as you described, you have a mommy who is a grandmother and the matriarch, and she's at home. And then Papa is still feeling himself, man. He's out
still
there.
the CEO of the company.
So he's out there on the streets and he's doing his thing. So there's no divorce. And then, but then there's bitterness and there's resentment because I'm not part of it.
So instead of being hypocritical,
why
this
don't
guy
we
to step away? So let me take this call from Oladipo. I'll come to UBC. Oladipo, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Hi.
You're live. Go ahead, please. I think our phone lines are really bad today. We can't hear you, Oladipo.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. Please go ahead.
Oh, okay. Interesting topic. It's a bit new to me because about 9 days ago I celebrated 6 months in marriage. But
6 months.
I just wanted to say that sometimes all our views are all correct, and sometimes all our views are all wrong. But most times, when we ask ourselves why we take decisions, it's because we wanted it the most at that time. And it's true that our choices may change later on, and we might feel more comfortable if we move ahead by dissolving or. And like now, I used to hear a phrase that says 10 friends cannot be together for 10 years. And then we sometimes see the other way around, that a family is the basic unit of the society. And we sometimes, even despite our pleasures and displeasures and everything, want to make things work, not only always for our personal gain, but for the benefit of all. And we've seen great leaders that actually persevered in great suffering just to make a better end. I mean, the likes of Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, Mother Teresa, and all. The purpose of everything is we all...
Hello? Oh, my goodness. Sorry about that. But I think we got the gist of what you were saying. Thank you, Oladipo, for that comment. Yes,
I wanted to share a story. I saw it online. Why is this fitting me? So, a couple abroad, Nigerian couple divorced. They have kids. The woman is both financially empowered, and they separated. But they settled to see each other, I think, 3 times in a year. And the man says that he started coming over to the wife's house, and whenever he comes over, it's still like they are married. Like they do everything, cook, all of that. Then he goes, and she's in her house with her children. He will go, he will come back again. And he realized instead of coming 3 times in a year, he's coming like 3 times every month. And after a long time, he now said, I want us to remarry. Because he was happy about the divorce, because he had freedom, he had a girlfriend.
He's a hunter. He likes to chase.
Yeah, and now he's coming, he's going. The woman said, I don't want
to stay with you again.
I don't want to be married. You can please be coming and going like that. It's interesting for me. And it just made me remember YK saying, yes, we have a relationship, but I have my own space. You know, I have my own house. If I want a break, I can go to my house and stay. And then we have this.
Like that. So let's stay on this.
Yeah.
You see, guys, because I want us to face reality.
Yes.
What is and this your phone? He's put you on the table. He's constantly coming for the past 1 week.
He wants to change.
Okay. So let's stay on this matter for a minute, because the truth is, what's the objective of a family? To raise these children to be responsible adults. Because they say, oh, what's the bedrock of society? All the leaders that we have, they are coming from family. Okay, I have finally raised successful children. They are now MD, CEOs of their company. They are all married, have children. We can be partners now. Me as a wife, I can now go and find my purpose, because I shelved everything for this family. I wanted to work in NNPC. I paused it because of these children. Now they are grown. I'm still young. I still look good. I want to go. So why? So should we begin to reevaluate these situations where we expect the woman to stay just because you're married to Mr. A?
She already answered.
So, okay, I want to add to that by saying that we need to start having real, deep conversations about what marriage is about and about the types of marriages that work for different people. You know, we grew up with the fact that once you're married, you stay there. Whatever you get, whatever you see inside the marriage, you have to absorb it, you have to manage it, you have to make it work. But people are now realizing that they have different personalities. There are people who, after a while, because they see you constantly, they get tired of you and they need space. They want their space. See the man now that went out. He likes to chase, like Miriam said. So when he saw that he was constantly coming back to chase, that love grew again.
And the woman likes her space.
Exactly. So if he did not give that time, he wouldn't have fallen in love back. So we need to start having conversation. What sort of marriage? Would you rather you stay here, I come and go after a while, you know, or there's a way we are going to do it, you are there, we see once in a while, or we are to, it works for us being together. You know, let's not impose.
We must always evaluate.
Yes.
That's it.
Let's
Evaluation.
let's not impose. Once you are married, husband and wife, you must be in there for 20 years. No, sometimes you start that way and you realize that I'm a different person. I need some space.
You can dry your clothes anyway.
You're sounding excited.
You don't have to worry about toilet seats being down.
Yeah, I know, right?
You can dry your underwear anywhere. You can, you know, you can walk up. You can do
bring running shoes all the way to the bedroom.
You know. So
each person is saying what is worrying them.
Anyway, I get what you mean and the different stages and what we should, what we're willing to agree to, the arrangements that we're willing to agree to. But I think in discussing that, then we have to also start discussing divorce in such a way that one person doesn't feel cheated. So if I feel that if this separation or arrangement does not now
mutually
make
beneficial,
me good, yes, it's mutually beneficial. So it does not leave me impoverished. All of a sudden, this lifestyle that I have, I don't have it anymore. And Oga has taken this lifestyle and dashed the secretary that he's eyeing. Now that's where the problem. So that's where somebody will say, I'm going nowhere, I'm staying here. Because when this thing came out, this story, there's this Ariwa, let me just say Ariwa social media. People were talking about the northern woman, the Ariwa woman, that usually when this sort of divorces happen, she just lives with nothing. At most 100,000 naira, you go and you go back home, no matter how long you've been in a marriage. So if women begin to feel empowered, I understand that already some stocks have been moved to Melinda. So imagine that, okay, this is what I want. This is the sort of arrangement that I want. No problem, but this is the lifestyle that I'm accustomed to, that I want to continue to have for me and for my children. Then we can now talk about the other part of the excitement, because it's I think what happens at that age is like, I need excitement, I can't get it. We need to find that.
And I think once it's mutually beneficial, both of us are happy. We're taking it, and we're mature about the decision. We're mature. It's not sabbatical.
Those arrangements good. You can have like a sabbatical in marriage.
So let's not make divorce as if it's a horrible thing. It might be necessary, cautiously necessary at some point. Let's take this call from Hassan. Look at us. Hassan, are you there?
Hassan will kill us today.
Let them tell us off.
Hassan will kill us today.
Go ahead.
Good morning, Murad.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, executive member. Please, I have something to say here. You see, we are operating from different clients. This Oyibo matter is different from our own here.
Okay.
And I had a man that called that marriage is an institution. It's an institution. Do you want to belong to an institution, or you want to stay away from an institution? And me as a Muslim, you see, marriage is about compatibility. You must be compatible right from day one. That compatibility has to do with everything about you and her. And you must be forward-looking. You understand? You now picture her when she's old. She now pictures you when you are old, so that you can remain bonded together. But you see, immediately we begin to see marriage as fashionable. You understand? We are missing the point. Look, they are sending wrong signal to the whole world because they are world leaders, both Bill Gates and his wife. After 27 years of marriage, I'm no longer interested. There was a woman there in Europe or America. The same thing with her. She ended up marrying a teacher of her daughter. she left a marriage like that. That is their own way of doing things. Let us look at it this way. Had it been, it was Bill Gates on his own that said, look, madam, let me walk over. I'm walking out of this marriage. I don't think your opinion will remain the same. What you are expressing today, I don't think so.
Okay.
They will look at it as somebody cheating somebody. But because now it is this issue of, dog biting a man is never a news. But when man bites a dog, it's a news.
All right. Thank you very much, Hassan. All right. So you're going to come
Hassan was taking us to the religious and cultural perspective.
Yeah.
We're not talking based on Hassan, we're not discussing based on religious and cultural perspective. We're just analyzing the situation to see what can we learn from it. But if we go religious, of course, every religion will say that you should make the family work and you should find a way to find balance. And we are all
on that page.
We share that sentiment.
We share that.
But just for the fun of having this conversation and looking at different perspectives,
because
if you are on the verge of divorce, consider sabbatical. Sometimes that break might just help you reevaluate.
Because I find out that when somebody loses a husband or spouse or something, I mean, I know somebody who her husband died. I mean, she wasn't so old. I mean, she was like her 50s or late 50s. And this is a person that before the first husband died, their house is such a strict, when you enter the house, it's very cold. The man is just he's a strict man. You know, you just, when they put you, you sit down.
Sit down there, don't move,
especially when the husband is around. After he passed on, the house was softer. They they can allow the colors. They change the couches. It was bright.
Wow.
You come in there. Yes, there was a part of mourning, but a year after, there was activity. People were walking up and down, and I'm thinking to myself,
two different personalities.
Two different personalities. So she was there, but accepted that this is my husband. This is how we are. We are because of my husband. But the point is that we all do that. We all compromise that, okay, this is how we are. This is how we do things.
And we must eat
pounded yam at night. We must, because we've compromised. That's what marriage is about, right? But maybe it's halfway.
Yes.
But when there is that, okay, guys, I want to be myself. I want to be me. We're not asking for divorce. That's what I'm saying. We now want to live life the way we are. So you're saying, is it selfish? It's debatable.
Yeah, but I believe that your cup has to be full before it can flow over. So we have been raised to always put other people first before ourselves.
Selflessness.
Now the world is getting to a place where the emphasis is on putting yourself first before the next person. So you can help the next person better, so you can love the next person better. But some people still haven't come to an understanding that this is actually good for both of us. They see it as you are now becoming selfish. You're not thinking about yourself. You just want to do your own things. We used to do this together. Now you're no longer interested and all of that. And it causes that friction. But if we go back to the same having regular conversations, table it, discuss it. Anything that you can start working and adjust. Sometimes we change without knowing. So it takes the other person to notice, to say, Miriam is now beginning to, you were not like this before. At what point? And you start retracing to see where you have gone wrong and explain if this is now the new meal. Find a way to adjust.
There's something that many people say, I feel that it's unrealistic when they say, picture her when she gets old. Picture her when he's old. Or you have to be sure from the beginning that you're compatible. Compatibility changes. Friendships changes. And sometimes it's really hard to picture anyone beyond what you really see. I mean, we're not God. Do you understand? So there's another high-profile marriage, too, that crashed that in America as well. They came together because of their love for fashion and almost their vanity. That's Kim and Kanye West. And then all of a sudden, he found Christ. And he wanted to live a more modest, conservative life.
And they couldn't
could not work together. So imagine if, in that case, the wife now decided to compromise to the point where, okay, this is where he's headed, and this is what I would do. You have a woman in a marriage who is sometimes bitter, because this is not who I am, but I have to do it. But you have figured out immediately, quick enough, that this is not working for us. They tried the path of, okay, let's try to do this together. She even tried to tone down, but it didn't work. So I think that's a reality we need to tell ourselves, that we are ever growing, ever evolving, and changes will happen.
I like the way you said that, because the truth is that many of our mothers feel like they didn't accomplish their goals. They subjected all that for family. They put all their desires, their ambition, put it down. Today, they feel like, well, at least I have you.
At least the children.
At least I have you, the children. So what reality is saying that things are changing, we are evolving, and we're saying this, you can still live that dream at some point. Maybe after, as you're having these conversations, on maybe 10, 15 years, and when the kids are grown, you can still have this conversation. Okay, I'd like to go do this. Both of us can still do it together.
I think that
we don't have to divorce to do it. We can still do it together.
If it works.
I think the solution is that the regular evaluation,
Yes,
regular deep conversation,
deep ones,
and sometimes you need a break. It might be vacation for one. My marriage, whenever I travel like this, I come back
refreshed.
It's new. Everything is sweet.
Rejuvenated.
I think it's good to take that periodic break. It would hurt a bit, but when you come back, everything fires up.
What if you're not allowed to take that break?
We have to run.
If you're married to somebody who's gone body.
Everybody's reporting there. The two of you.
What are we going to do about it?
Just go to the other room.
That's all we can take.
Just go to another room.
But lessons learned is that, yes, I mean, when you raise your children and they're happy, yes, we understand it's important for you to raise your kids well and stay in the family for that. Now, even after the kids have grown, you can still stay together. You can still be together. But if you choose to move on, listen, it's between you and God. I know my own religion doesn't allow you to divorce.
Keep evaluating your relationship.
But keep evaluating your relationship is extremely important. I think that's a high point of the lesson we've learned today. Have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday. Bye for now.
Bye.